Hey, what's up, guys? This is RacePace Coach, and today we will go over communicate with every swimmer daily. Okay, so here's the radio again. I shown this in the previous two videos, radio for the coaches, and then my other videos I talked about the headsets. Okay, so with those two tools, it allows me to communicate with every swimmer every day that is in my group. I have around 35 swimmers in my group daily. So this with that tool, it allows me to talk to them, do stroke corrections with them every day, and I still get those swimmers that do not bring their headsets every day to practice. Okay, I try to at least get everybody once or twice. Okay, but most of the times I'm getting the swimmers that have their headsets on like over 10 times a day. You know, working with them, motivating them, stroke corrections. Okay, so use the radio, use the headsets. They're really beneficial to your practice. Okay, another thing is that race pace training. Race pace training, not only the headsets and the radio, but race pace training has also allowed me to be able to communicate with my swimmers, each of my swimmers that have headsets on over 10 times a day, because um, the type of training that we do, there's those rest in between, and then you're working on your target time, working on your intervals. Not everybody is swimming at once, and then you can, which allows more pool space for the swimmers, and they're not like back to back, 5 seconds off the wall after the first swimmer, and then 5 seconds after the second swimmer. Okay, so um, this is what I like about it, about race-based training. It allows me to communicate with every swimmer. All right. Um, I don't I don't need to like waste my time walking to the other side of the pool to go and talk to them, individual swimmer, because if I do that, I'm going to miss all the other swimmers that I didn't see while I was walking to the pool and talking to that other swimmer. Okay, and again, I can talk to them instantly, and they'll hear me instantly. Okay, the next thing is in a high yardage program or a max yardage program, I couldn't, and without a headset and a radio, I couldn't really communicate with all the swimmers, because when you're doing high yardage program, you're pretty much focused on the faster swimmers. The stragglers, you don't really um, not care about, but you don't really get a chance to talk to them, because during a high yardage program, a coach, they're holding stopwatches in their hand, and they're worried about the intervals and stuff like that. Okay, so the coach is looking at the watch, sending the kids off on certain intervals, reading out their times when they come in. It really takes time away from the coach to do stroke corrections, to motivate them, to push them while they're in the middle of their workout sets. So this is why I switched. Also, this is why I like race-based training over a high yardage or max yardage program. Okay, and then once in a while, maybe once or twice a year, I do a high yardage program. But and what's so beneficial about race-based training is that the swimmers, they understand intervals so well that they can do it on their own, and we also put in a little bit of target time into it, so it's like a race pace high yardage program. um well, and it's mainly freestyle, but what I like to, if I ever do a high yardage program, I gear it towards like their mile race pace, or their 1,000 race pace, or their 500 race pace, where they still have a target time, and they're doing lots of yardage, just working on the 500 events when we're approaching distance meets and stuff like that. Okay, if they're swimming a mile at a meet, or 1,000, 1,500, 800, 1,650, 1,500, stuff like that. Okay, so you know it still allows me to communicate with the swimmers through the headset, because I'm not that coach that looks at the stopwatch. I'm not that coach that reads out the time. They understand their own times. They calculate their own times because they're so used to it. They're so used to getting their target times and then checking to make sure that they make their target time when they do the race pace set. So when it transfers over to a high yardage program, it's easier for them to calculate their times. Okay. And then the last thing is care. You show more care to your swimmers if you're working on them. Okay, working on each and every one of them, talking to them individually. Okay, especially in the water where I'm able to hit each swimmer, um, and talk to them like 10 times in 10 times at every practice with the radio, with the headset, with the race pace training. Okay, and then not only that, when they climb out and when they write in their book, they're actually, when they're writing in their book and after they're done writing in the book, we review the book together. So each individual swimmer, um, talks to me and we talk about their performance of their, sets, and then we review the book, review their results. Okay, the only swimmer that I don't get a chance to talk to is the swimmers that don't write in their book. They don't have their headsets, and I do have few of those kids, and those are the kids that don't aren't really motivated when it comes to, swimming. And then I have to always constantly remind them to bring their headsets to practice. Okay, so that's the only issue. Okay, but overall, you have your headset, you have your radio, you're talking to your swimmers all the time. Okay, and it just shows that you're caring for them, and they know that you want them to improve. All right. So, if you want to learn more about race-based training, check out my book, check out my course. It's in the link description below. Also, the radio and the headset, they're in the link description below if you want to order some. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.